I'm John Albano, and this is Miss Amanda Aber, and she teaches...
English, 8th grade English at Blackman High School.
Alright, my first question for you is, what is your educational background?
I have a bachelor's in English literature and a master's of art in teaching in English.
Gotcha. Okay, and then my second question is, what do you teach?
English.
Alright. Third question is, what is one educational practice that you like and think should be continued?
One educational practice that I like and think that should be continued is the use of non-subjective tools to measure students and measure where they are at the beginning and ends of each year.
Okay. And what is one educational practice you would do away with?
It's within the same vein, but it's putting all the pressure and having so much riding on those non-subjective tools like the standardized tests.
Okay, makes sense. What do you like most about teaching as a career?
I enjoy getting to know the students. I enjoy kind of getting to know about their lives and learning about things that are different than mine, and kind of trying to put all of our experiences together through literature and, understanding where they're coming from, and so they can understand me through literature.
Okay, all right. So the next question I have is, when did you decide to become a teacher, and why did you decide to become so?
I decided to become a teacher probably my sophomore year of college. I had been substitute teaching and I really liked it. I loved being able to go and be in a classroom and interacting with the students. It felt like something that I could do.
Okay, makes sense. And then my next question is if you could describe your teaching style.
That's hard. So as a teacher, I'm kind of, especially when it first starts, I'm very strict and I'm very no nonsense, and we're going to do this and we're going to be in this line, and that's more for a behavioral, to kind of get that tone in my classroom. So behavior-wise, I am very strict and you can't really get out of line. But after that time period passes, I really like an open classroom where you don't have to be scared of being wrong. So I try to do a lot of like circle talks in my class where everybody kind of has to talk and say something. So I don't know.
And so my next question is, how do you motivate your students to become active learners?
So I'll use points, like in our circle talks, they'll get points for doing it. I'm also a big proponent of, I'll keep a bag of candy in my classroom and I throw it at them if they answer, or whenever they come up with a good idea. I like to reward them with things too, just to kind of get them motivated.
Okay. The next question I have is, how do you allow students to display their creativity and individuality?
One of the things that I really try to do, there's one unit I do every year where I have them basically, I think last year we did the Telltale Heart, and they have to perform it and they have to video it because they all have laptops. So I try to use technology and make them use that technology to show their kind of creative side, and then judge based on that.
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
What role do you think extracurricular activities play in a child's development? So not so much teaching, but in a school setting in general.
So extracurriculars are hard. From my personal experience, extracurricular activities, I had them year-round. I was always in extracurriculars, and they helped me, with kind of having a focus. It's different, though, when you're in a low-income house or when you have low-income students, because they don't necessarily have time to do extracurricular activities, and that's something that people, don't really understand. They have those things that they have to go home to do. So I think that they're important to an extent, but they can't be forced because sometimes a student just can't.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you so much.
No problem.
And so so you were a teacher from what year to what year? How many years? I know you're no longer, but
I was a teacher from 2012 to 2017.
okay. All right. Thank you so much.
All right.